These past 3 days, it hasn't been destroying the other units beyond repair, like it did in the first battle.
It must be learning to finesse its attacks rather than just using brute force. The result? Swift, overwhelming victories.
Its evasive skills are improving as well. That level of flexibility in evasive action could never be replicated by chaining predefined maneuvers.
I love untidy researcher with a tie, so no one else is allowed to wear ties, and then female researcher. How descriptive. I feel so bad for untidy researcher, though. He got the short end of the stick. That being said, they're all the scum of the earth and deserve pain.
This unit's collected a good amount of feedback data, too. It's growing steadily, feeding on the bones of its kills.
You don't have to say it like that.
Why would you say it like that? Someone fire this man. The researchers are preparing for the download. Growing, destroying them and absorbing their data. That's what growing is. Since I thoroughly destroyed a few of my opponents these last few days, some of their bodies were salvaged. While I downloaded their data, I always kept their still bodies within view. This is like the third bookmark? So many bookmarks, and we have not, we're still in the learning about Labrys phase. Just as the combat tests are repeated, my actions outside each night are repeated as well. I become aware that I am seeking out number 024 of my own will lately. When I attempt to communicate with other units, most often they cannot understand the meaning of my questions. This prevents us from conversing. But that may not be the only reason. I want to converse with number 024. I have begun to desire it. When I go to see number 024, the white dog I saw on the first day we met appears from somewhere.
This one seems to have been raised as a pet somewhere far away from here. But one day, it was brought to the forest near here, and its owner suddenly disappeared.
Hunt down that owner and kill them dead. That is unforgivable! It seems unlikely that number 024 obtained such a detailed history of a stray animal from the research staff. Was all this information obtained by communicating directly with the animal? From a dog that does not speak human language?
Its name is apparently Snowy. At least, that's the name it responds to the most.
I thought it was a dog.
Oh, well, the name of this animal is a dog. But how do I put this? Snowy is what this specific dog is called.
I love the idea of Labrys living her life referring to any dog she sees as dog. I want her to meet Koromaru and be like, dog! And just call him dog from there on.
Snowy.
Snowy barks once as if comprehending its name.
It's white, like snow. Easy to remember.
When I reach out my hand, Snowy rubs its nose against it without being frightened. The way it presses at my fingers feels as if it is showing pride in its name. I do not know the tactical advantage that communicating with animals offers to a weapon, but I feel that there is value in spending time with it. I decide to spend my outdoor activity time that day following Snowy around with number 024. It is outdoor activity time on the next night. When I arrive in the outdoor area, I'm listening to a certain sound. I hear this sound intermittently every 4 to 7 seconds. I had wondered about the unknown ambient sound since the first day, but I determined that it wasn't a threat and focused my consciousness on other things. Tonight, I increase my microphone sensitivity to maximum and concentrate on that sound. It is similar to something familiar. I scan my memories until I realize what it is. It is the sound of water. I hear it when the staff uses a device to clean their hands and tools. The waveform has some similarities to that, but if the sound is at this volume in such an open space, the volume of water must be higher than a normal supply would allow for. What could it be? Probably a river? I contemplate asking number 024. It is clear that number 024 knows much more than I do. I begin walking in search of number 024. Where could number 024 be? I go to where we spoke a number of times previously, but number 024 is not there. Number 024 is also not at the rock where we sat together. Is number 024 not here? I quickly discard the possibility. We are not ordered what to do while we are here, but coming to this outdoor area is in order. If post-testing diagnostics show no abnormalities, we are all to report directly here. I consider this. If there are no abnormalities, I feel a twinge in my chest. It is larger than ever. Number 024 will be here if there are no abnormalities. But what if there were such abnormalities? Please stop making me say the word abnormalities. What if number 024 was damaged during the combat tests? And sustaining damage is not necessarily the extent of the problem. Could it be? I realize that my arms are trembling slightly. It is not a conscious movement. I cannot make it stop. It is possible that perhaps number 024 lost in a combat test and was destroyed. In these circumstances, it would be expected for such a day to come. What if number 024? What if she never came here again?
Oh, this is where you went. You weren't at the usual spot, so I was looking for you.
Honestly, it would have been better if she lost another combat test. I can already tell how this is going to go. They're going to make Labrys kill number 024. And then Labrys is going to go insane and hopefully slaughter all of the research staff. That's my dream, personally. Until I heard the voice from behind me, my sensors had stopped accepting input. No sound, no light, nothing. All of them come back online with her voice. I turn around. Number 024 furrows her brow and looks into my face.
What's wrong? The look on your face seemed as if you saw something frightening.
My face? My expression? Frightening? Am I scared?
I do not comprehend. I cannot make that judgment.
Are you perhaps scared of fighting?
Nah, I don't think that's it. What is this? I can't tell.
Am I scared? Scared of what? That she will disappear? During an operation, it is possible that I might assign greater priority to other units' safety than my own, but we are not on an operation now, and this emotion is not the same anyway. It's a different emotion. An emotion? I have emotions? I looked at number 024's face pleadingly, but I cannot put my question into words. I cannot express my feelings to her. And though number 024 sees this, she says nothing. She only smiles tenderly. It's the same smile she showed once. It looks happy, but also sad. During that night's outdoor activity time, neither number 024 nor I speak much. We just walk together side by side without saying anything. I do not take the opportunity to ask her about the intermittent sound of water. It is the next day. I detect some sort of weight in my chest. I am aware that there is no physical weight there. It is most likely a psychological phenomenon. I perform a vocabulary search. The idiom of being heavy-hearted applies best. I cannot help but find it amusing. It is a very apt phrase. But what is causing this heavy-heartedness? That I may not be able to see number 024 someday? That may be it. But I do not think that is all. Over the next few days, I spent my time without finding an answer to this question. Each night after the combat tests, when it is time for outdoor activities, I seek out number 024 first. And each time I confirm her presence, I feel an indescribable sense of relief and rush over to her. We exchanged standard greetings in the first few days, but that practice was eventually discarded. Now there are no special greetings between us. We can understand each other without words. Our eyes and expressions communicate enough. Tonight I find number 024 and rush to her as usual. There are no words, only an exchange of smiles. We begin walking together.
Do you remember me asking before if you were scared of fighting?
I nod.
To tell the truth, I'm scared of it too.
Her confession is surprising. It is counter to our nature as weapons. Yet for some reason, I am not surprised by it.
I'm afraid I'll lose and be destroyed, and it's painful for me to make others go through the same ordeal. We may be weapons, but shouldn't we be driven by more than seeking victory? I've been wondering that for a long time.
The robots are becoming self-aware. This never ends well.
But that's against orders.
Number 024 gives a half-hearted smile.
I'm sure things would probably be much simpler if I stopped thinking and just obeyed orders. Unfortunately, I finally found it. I found my answer.
You bought a copy of Persona 3 FES The Answer?
Your answer?
There's someone I want to meet. I feel like meeting this person is my own objective and not an order given to me.
Since we have never left this facility, we have absolutely no acquaintances with outside people. There should be no relationship, but I immediately understand. This person she wants to meet is someone on the outside. Even I don't know why I thought so. But when I reflect upon that thought, the indescribable wavering within me becomes greater than ever.
Ever since I started thinking that I was scared to fight, each day was painful for me. If I'm going to feel this way until the day I lose, I even thought it would be better if I lost on purpose. But I won't think that anymore. I feel glad now that I exist. I mean, we're loved after all.
Loved?
That's right.
I repeat that to myself. The word loved. I do not comprehend. But when I look at her gaze, her clear eyes seem to see beyond the sky. Her statement seems correct. I feel that this must be something vital. As I watch her try to express something without words, it is hard to believe she is the same unit type as me. It seems more that she is human.
Why are you telling me this?
It's probably because I didn't think anyone but you would understand.
Well, I hate to say it, but I'm not sure I really get it either.
I'm sure you'll understand one day. I hope so anyway.
Sheesh. Why you gotta be so cryptic?
Number 024 laughs at this. It is the purest smile I have cataloged. I know without comparing it to anything that it is a smile of pure joy. I detect Snowy playing at my feet. After playing at number 024's feet too, Snowy runs off about 3 meters and then turns around. Its tail moves vigorously back and forth. Soon afterwards, Snowy sits on the ground and looks up at number 024. I watch number 024 crouch and pat its head. I'm thinking about other things. Things besides fighting and defeating the nearest enemy. My own objective. Someone to meet. I still do not fully comprehend. But the way she is playing with Snowy tonight looks more fun than ever. Her smile seems very natural. If the answer she discovered is the origin of that smile, I would like to understand it someday too. I can feel that desire budding inside me. I read budding as burning, realized that it was not the word burning, but then instead of saying budding, I said building instead. That was a roller coaster for me. Oh my goodness, 4 bookmarks. We've been doing this for like an hour. I'm excited to see this backstory of Labrys, and it's really interesting and all, but holy cow. Once again, I participate in a combat test. Once again, I claim victory without destroying my opponent. I target only her weapons and limbs. I elect not to employ the tactic of targeting the weakness in their cranial regions. I believe that if they think the same things as I do, they would not wish for their personality modules to cease functioning. Though even if I do not destroy them, the research staff will remove their plumes of dust. Either way, their functions will be suspended. My actions are difficult to justify. But I feel that suspension through destruction is not a suitable end for them. That is what I think when I rationalize it by applying the criteria to myself. I do not think anyone would want their consciousness to be terminated by those like them. I find myself more conscious of the damage I sustain and my efficiency in combat than ever. Depending on my results, I may eventually be ordered to destroy them. To prevent that from happening, I must continue fielding favorable results. It becomes easy to continue fighting with that objective in mind. That is becoming my new objective. I am theoretically being tested on destroying my opponents, but I have begun fighting so that they will not be destroyed. Paradoxically, this has caused my results to improve. Could this be considered going against my orders? My strikes shatter the servos in the opponent's pivot leg. She falls to the ground, unable to stay upright. Her weapon has already been destroyed. She should be incapable of resisting now. But the buzzer signaling the end of the test does not sound. As I wonder why, I hear a grating metallic sound from the opponent. She leaps onto me with her one good arm and leg.
What's the matter, number 031? Hurry up and terminate the target.
I do not know what to do. My opponent is acting contrary to her own safety. I grant that this is the only action left to her, but she will destroy herself before inflicting any damage to me. A tactic that puts one's life at risk like that? Putting one's life at risk? What am I saying? We are weapons. We exist to obey orders. We cannot prioritize our self-preservation without a change in those orders. That is why she is challenging me to a fight. She will do so until all of her circuits and servos burn out and she becomes incapable of action. As she grapples with me, I put my hands to her neck and squeeze. I adjust my grip strength limiters to 70% of maximum. The opponent's body makes an abnormal sound. After this, I sense the main lines of the bridge unit snap in half inside the soft structure. Her movement stops. Snapped her neck. Her limbs go flaccid, indicating loss of consciousness. I can see my reflection in her optic inputs. They have lost their focus and look like black holes. I gasp. The face I see reflected in them is not expressionless. How should this expression be classified? I have seen it sometimes when number 024 smiles. This face indicates sadness. The buzzer signaling the test's end finally rings. Wildcat, my dude, thanks so much for subbing with Prime for 10 months. Greatly appreciated, dude. Everything is going well for me. Hope your new job's going well, brother. The researchers entered the chamber. I am used to this scene now.
Now that was pretty impressive. You think it's because of the size of her plume? Funny that one little part could make such a difference.
Indeed. Most of it is due to differences in their tactical mentalities. It may be on the cusp of what we would call an ego.
Considering how everything's been going so far, I'm starting to believe more in Persona abilities.
One little part. It is true that the plume of dusk installed in me is comparatively the largest among units of my type. But does this part determine everything about us? Number 024's smile seems much more human than mine. I find myself opening my mouth to speak. But I realize that the statement I'm about to deliver is a protest. I am quick to abort. Was I about to deny the staff's authority? They speak to me. My confusion seems to have gone unnoticed.
Well done, unit number 031. That was an impressive display of destruction. Plus, you cleanly severed its transmitter, leaving the plume of dusk unharmed. That's certainly ending things on a high note.
Ending things on a high note? An act of destruction is a high note. The researchers look at each other while holding the petri dish with the bluish-white, plate-like object. One of them says, "This is the one."
All right, number 031. As of today, the test battles are finished.
Huh? It's over?
I cannot help questioning the unexpected statement.
All the results indicate that you have the very highest performance out of all the units of your model.
I'd say we can go ahead and earmark unit number 031 to be the base for developing the 5th generation.
The base?
It means that you're the winner.
The combat tests are over. Will I no longer be required to fight? A strangely intense sensation of relief fills me. Oh, this is gonna go so wrong so fast, dude. It is not because I won and earned some kind of reward. If the tests have ended, those of my unit type that are not yet destroyed can escape that fate. Interesting. It seems that I was reluctant to destroy them after all. My priorities have become inverted, yet I am so happy that I smile. The researchers notice this expression as well and smile back. The snack that smiles back!
Okay, we're going to begin the usual review of the feedback. So come over here.
When the download begins, the memories and thoughts of my recent opponent flow into me along with vivid images. Sifting through battle data has become a routine I've repeated so often that I am barely conscious of it now. I peruse the non-combat memories she preserved. It is the landscape of the outdoor area again. At first I could only vaguely recognize it, but now I can pinpoint exactly where this memory is from. It is near the biggest tree. The memory is of flowers. There are images of a small shoot, a budding plant, and a blossoming flower. I don't know what a shoot is in this context, chat. I only know shoot as like a verb for shooting something. She must have had an interest in the concept of growth. For we machines, the growth of an individual is an unknown concept, but one of us took an interest where I had only seen it as part of the landscape. It seems that she too had her own thoughts unrelated to our orders and battle performance. She simply did not show it. I recall what number 024 said. My own objective and not an order given to me. The twinge in my chest returns. I'll make sure to hold tight to your memories. This was the thought that formed in my mind. Once again, it is time to spend time outdoors. I quickly meet up with number 024. It seems she was looking for me as well.
Hey, can I talk to you for a while? The lab boys told me today that they were putting the kibosh on the test battles.
Kibosh!
I see. It's over then.
Look, I've been thinking, if they end up tossing us out soon because of that, I want to go with you to go see that person you were talking about. The one you wanted to meet. I might even put in a formal request about it to the lab boys.
The lab boys? They sound like a boy band. Number 024 takes my right hand. Before I can determine her intent, she pulls a cable from her wrist and connects it to a port in my own. She looks at my face in silence. Thinking that she wants to confirm that the tests are in fact over, I nod. But the data that transfers is from her to me. The packets that flow through the cable form a single, very small archive file.
If you are still safe when everything is over, open this file.
Number 024 removes the cable, but keeps hold of my hand.
What do you mean, when everything is over? How come I can't look at it now?
If I had to answer, I would say because it wouldn't be fair.
Fair?
Life ain't fair! She smiles and does not answer. It is that same unsure expression. It is a smile, but there is sadness in it.
It would be wonderful if I could go with you to see her.
Her? So this person you're looking forward to meeting is a girl?
Number 024 nods slowly.
But it's strange. Even though my wish may not come true, I still feel satisfied for some reason. How bizarre. It's a fervent wish of mine, too.
She looks towards the sky and smiles faintly. I know who it is. I know who number 024 wants to meet. Female? Gotta be Nanako. Number 024 is so upset with how awful these researchers are. She somehow, through long-range telekinesis, even though Nanako is probably like 2 years old right now, if that, has reached out and spoken to Nanako. And Nanako, with her almighty murdering capabilities, is like, if you can reach me, I will help you kill them all. Because that's just how Nanako is. She looks towards the sky and smiles faintly. This time, it contains more than sadness. There are too many emotions for me to parse, all reflected in that one expression.
I believe in you. I can tell you this because I trust you. Maybe that's why I feel so at peace.
Huh?
Maybe this is what it is to feel alive.
Alive. It has happened again. I do not comprehend the meaning of the word, yet I feel a twinge inside. I look at the sky in an attempt to follow her gaze. There is nothing there to hint at her meaning, but I still wanted to get closer to her. She wishes for me to understand. I want to grant her wish. From then on, we spend our time looking up at the sky in silence. There is one sky, one destiny! And then Xehanort shows up and tries to use the robots to create the Keyblade. Eventually, the signal that time is up reaches our ears. That is when I notice that the moon has appeared from behind the laboratory buildings. I see. I thought that the light emanating from the plumes of dusk reminded me of something. I now know what it is. It is very similar to the light from the moon in the night sky. Oh my word, this is bookmark number 5.